543-210. It's on.
Are we on?
All right. Yeah, I shared it to the event group.
Okay, I'm going to accept it to the event group.
So that post automatically turns into the video, or you can do another one, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so do I just see if this is going to work? I'll just see if I can get this.
Yeah, you can either.
It's come up live. Yeah, it's come up live in the event group anyway.
Yeah, that's what it should have done. Let me see here. All right. Oops. All right. Hey, Lorenzo Conte out there near Atlantic City. DJ. Cool dude. Debrielle, David Pollock, Felicia Gullett, Lana Anderson, Bradshaw, Joe Delaney, Dr. Joe, Liverpool, England. Sandra Franklin, Joanne Dunn. We got a special show this morning. It's my morning. Hody Malone. It's I think about 8 o'clock in the evening over in England. Hey, Trish Riley, Karen Went, Catarina de Amor, Marilyn. Ashley Biggers is coming on today. Gonna get some of that Indigo Blu-ray. Val Franklin, Jenny Smith, Trish Riley. All right. Got 31 people in the house. If these shows resonate with you, please share. We got a really special show today. It's the third time our beautiful sister Jen Mccarty's been on Soul Speaks 5D. Maybe that might be the fourth time. I don't know. But you know, I just got to say to her, I just told her, you know, I don't surf a lot on Facebook and social media, but you know, like a lot of us, we don't have to read the whole book to get the energy. Jen Mccarty is out there every single day, putting it out there, doing the work. And I told her, big props, big respect. And for all of you and all of us who are doing that every single day, keep putting it out there, keep sharing the energy so we can keep expanding it. I want to wish Jen Mccarty and all the people at the event is happening. Happy anniversary, 1 year yesterday. Boom. What a hell of a job's going on over there. You got a heck of a team. It's expanding at warp speed. So congratulations on that. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Thank you. Hi, Todd. Lovely to be here, brother.
Yeah. This wow. Yesterday was what was it? International Women's Day. January's been like, you know, January was like a fast track initiation. February, I don't know what that was. It was like some black hole vortex. But I've been seeing a lot of what would I say? I've been seeing a lot of intel coming out of people, things spoken in different ways, but kind of like all having the same message. And it looks like we're headed for a big coronation, a big gala, a universal, you know, extravaganza. I noticed that you put one out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and you were talking about a transmission you received. It involves some colors. And I can't recall everything because I have a 3D 57-year-old memory and I can't remember all the details, but I remember the energy of it. Could you go over that with us?
Yeah, sure. So I set the group up a year ago, and obviously the Ascension energy is really, really massively amped up last March, and that really brought a lot of us together and created this whole huge momentum for, sorry, my son's just coming in. Hi, love. And so basically it created this whole massive momentum with the event and the wave and stuff like that. And so it feels like a year later, I don't know, I just like noticed that I had a really, really massive sort of personal shift around sort of late February, early March. And within my own evolutionary trajectory, I was triggered to have a profound expansion. And within that expansion, I noticed that there were hooks that were sort of like keeping me hypnotized in patriarchal programming that I wasn't even aware that they were still binding me. And they were very, very deep subconscious programs that I wasn't aware of. So they were exposed to me in February, and the minute I saw them, I freed myself and I liberated from literally all of the remnants of the patriarchal programming. And I really, really deeply reclaimed the wild woman within me at a whole new vibration. And so within that experience of me setting myself free on a much deeper level, more profound level, it seems to have opened up my psychic capacities like exponentially. Like everything has become more enhanced. My intelligence, my clarity, my lucidity, my humor, my alignment, my authenticity, my transmission, everything seems to have ramped up within my own personal evolution. And the reason why I'm sharing this, Todd, is because this is the context with which this vision appeared. It's coming from a really, really pure place of not looking or searching for anything. Like it was a spontaneous vision that I had, and it was actually triggered by an amazing picture that someone posted on my group, and it was a picture of a DNA spiral in the sky. And I was just kind of got in the bath, and I wasn't, I wasn't like thinking about anything in particular, but I had this vision of this DNA spiral was like really, really activating my third eye. And then all of a sudden, I like really sort of opened to allow that. And then all of a sudden it was like this, I kind of like went into this scene, you could call it like a scene, and it felt like it was a very, very close future scene. That's what it felt like to me. And what I was shown was that there was an unusual sunset, like a really, really like special sunset. Like it starts out as a special sunset. Nothing, it just looks like a special sunset. Extremely beautiful, a bit different. So they showed me that it starts off like this, and then I had my galactic team speaking in my ear, and they were saying, they kept on referring to it as the solar flash party. That was what they were calling it, the solar flash party. And so what they showed me this this beautiful, beautiful sunset, which kind of went sort of like started going pink. And then all of a sudden, from that space, this new spectrum of frequency of light came into the atmosphere that we've never, ever experienced before. And it was almost kind of fractal, the way they showed it to me, how this light. So they basically showed me this timeline of this kind of like new spectrum frequency of light entering into Earth's atmosphere. And then as it got closer and closer into Earth's atmosphere, this energy actually had a voice, but it was speaking to all of us internally. And the voice was saying to everyone, to go and lie down. This is what I heard. The voice was saying, go and lie down, breathe deeply. This is the time of the great shift. And then they kept on repeating, this is the time of the great shift. And then I proceeded to get like electric goosebumps for about 7 minutes. And it was like, I was like properly, like I hadn't really had that experience of such prolonged goosebumps in myself. And it was always when I could hear them saying that this is the time of the great shift. Every time I heard that, I would just get like rushes, like more intense rushes of goosebumps. And so that was pretty much it, really. And they just so the scene kind of ended with me seeing like they were guiding people to lie on the bed and to breathe deeply, and that this is the time, this is what we've all been praying for. But what I thought was really, really interesting about that vision was the fact that it came. Like it didn't need to come. Like why did I have that vision? Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I find interesting about it.
You know, in retrospect, something really impactful happened to me energetically. Morgan and I experienced energetically. She was still here at that time. It was February 28th, in particular, and March 1st. She got a transmission in of there's no such thing as a leap year. Like, in other words, there was some type of implanted construct in the calendar with the end of February, 1st of March. There seemed to be some type of unveiling or removal of something false then. And there was a lot of energy then. And then the other thing is that, so this solar flash, is that what you called it? Solar flash party? I've seen and it resonates energetically. I don't know if it's metaphoric or what the case is, but it's all energy anyway, right? It resonates, and it reminds me of Aluna Ash Clairvoyant on YouTube. She's talked about it, and I think I listened to it on one of Allison Coe's videos, the Q2, what is it, the QHHT sessions, where they talk about the same thing. Do you think it'll literally be something like that? Because I mean, many people have talked about that, the flash, where it actually something occurs like in a blink of an eye. Do you think it'll actually go down like that?
It's a really good question, Todd, and I never, ever thought it was going to be a flash. You know, I'd never heard about the event, and I'd never heard about the flash until my team told me, like they showed me it in November 2017. Like they just showed me the event happening, and they were like screaming in my ear. They were like, "This is happening, Jen. You need to tell as many people as possible, and you need to be focused on music, because before you know it, the whole mass population is about to wake up." And they said the main thing that they're going to need is music, medicine music, sacred music. So I received that information about the solar flash event, and because it was a direct internal experience, I would answer that question, yes, Todd, I believe there is actually going to be a solar flash event, but I'm not asking you to believe me. Everyone needs to use their own personal discernment. I can only speak for my own self and what I've been shown by my galactic team. Like, don't like everyone has to be like, you know, self-responsible. If that's your truth, that's your truth. Do you know what I mean? So, but I personally have been shown that, and it's not something that I think about because I don't ever think about the future. I'm very, very much in the 0 point present moment consciousness. So that's why I think it's really fascinating that my team showed me this vision on the 1st of March. I think that's very, very potent, because it's not something that I was looking for, or it's not something that I'm particularly even excited about necessarily. It's not something that I'm searching for, or it was such a spontaneous vision of a timeline, and my body, the way my body reacted to it was so intense that it does feel like it's imminent. But when we say imminent on an earthly level, that could still be 20 years away. Like, we don't know. Like, I would never, ever, ever in a million years predict the day of the solar flash event, because time does not work in the way that we have been conditioned to believe. I've been shown, like, you know, inextricably that the solar flash event is to do with the vibration of the collective consciousness. So that's why my job is to literally to activate people, to awaken people, to assist them to break free from the matrix, to be free of the third dimensional identification, to come back into the 0 point. And then the more of us that can stabilize in the 0 point field of consciousness, the swifter the solar flash event will align. So that is literally my job, is to assist in the activation of brothers and sisters to get their consciousness stabilized back in the present moment in 0 point, and to the realization that is the ultimate goal of our expression, is to be present. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And then it sounds like too, I think if I caught you at the end there, you were saying if we can, the more of us collectively that get into this 0 point into presence, really, the more in alignment will, almost like that precipitates the flash coming, or aligns with the flash. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. I think enough people have talked about it, but I understand what you're saying too. You're not attached to it. You're just saying, this is what I got. And exactly. I think this is what we all need to do, which is just to continue to convey our experiences, whatever they may be, because they're all pieces of a puzzle that make up the whole thing. Now you talk about the music thing, which is close to my heart, and I caught you parts of a couple of videos in the last few weeks mentioning there was some house music involved, DJing a little bit. So what are you doing with the music thing? I'm real interested in that.
Oh, I'm currently recording an album at the moment with a really amazing UK producer. And we're creating a new genre of music called conscious devotional house music. So, so we're really sort of like, you know, I used to go to warehouse parties from 1988. I grew up in London, and I was really, really a massive part of that whole kind of like house music scene from the very, very, very beginning. And it's a massive part of my core identity, really. So I'm going to be working with that genre of music, but adding bhajans and chanting, like sacred bhajans and chanting, but also like I've got like spoken word, like really massively activating spoken word going over the piano and the beats, which is like really triggering people's just like their pineal glands and triggering, you know, the codes of our multidimensional codes that are stored in our higher heart and our pineal glands. Like, everything I do is about that, because really who I am is a person where there isn't much of a veil. Do you know what I mean? I'm just one of those people where, because of my spiritual awakening, what happened to me when I was 21, it was like the veil, the third dimensional veil just got obliterated from me, you know. So my whole role in life is just to be a reminder, be a reminder. That's literally it.
Yeah, I'm digging it, man. This that type of music and that type of expression, that's my kind of light language, you know, where we're actually putting together, you know, well, like in this case, house music, you know, like the contemporary, like the living library, and combining it with the Akashic, you know, some chanting with some house music, bass beat, maybe some dubstep, a spoken word. You know, that's cool. That's really cool, because really we are moving into a place, we're already there really, where it's not the words. It's just like the transmission that you got. The energy of you conveying that experience to all of us is what I got. It's not so much the words, you know, it's a curiosity to me. Do you really think it's going to happen? But it's the energy that you put out. You can tell, just like you in the bathtub with the electric goosebumps. I mean, you know that, you know, the impression of that is pure. So this is getting exciting. It really is. And you guys have done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just, it is getting exciting, but everybody needs to use their own discernment. I've really just underlined that like 30 times. Like, everybody has to use their own discernment. And if it resonates for you, it resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, it doesn't resonate for you. Just keep on scrolling, keep on rolling by. Do you know what I mean? Instead of people arguing about this, that. It's like, if it's the message is for you, it's for you. If it makes you feel happy, if it makes you feel expansive, if it gives you goosebumps, it's for you. If it makes you feel kind of constricted, if it makes you feel judgmental, if it makes you feel critical, it's not for you. But you don't, like, just keep on scrolling, you know.
Yeah, you'll find something. But like you said, you know, what strikes me about that transmission is the way you describe it, like the instructions from the universe, from the team. That's the same type of thing I heard on at least 2 other ones by some very, you know, yeah, absolutely. It was like, take some breaths, lay down, and like you said, how you know, you can't judge it on linear. So that instant that the human would see, like from the story, like the instant, the blink of an eye, that could be like 6 months long. You know what I mean? It could be slow to the human, a blink of an eye to the universe. But I think there's something to it. I think the momentum that has occurred in the first 75 days of this year is undeniable. People are shifting, right? So and I've been telling Morgan since right around that time, or maybe right after it, because it was kind of a 2 or 3 day period there. It wasn't an abyss. It was just like this calm before the storm. And I said, something's building up. Like, something is huge is building up. And I feel it, you know, I do.
Yeah, I do as well, Todd. And I just think it is definitely related to last March and the fact that we really experienced a massive shift energetically in the collective last March, which was, you know, why I created the group.
Yeah.
You know, so it does feel connected. But, you know, it's like, who knows? All I know is that for my own personal evolutionary journey, I am going through another, I wouldn't say it's an awakening, but I would say it's definitely like a much, much deeper expansion. And this has all been activated from January, February, March. So yeah, the shift has truly hit the fan, but it's up, you know, it's up to God, like when this solar flash is going to be, and it's going to be at exactly the right moment. Like, the best thing that everyone needs to do is just focus on your own vibration, find out about the 0 point, find a spiritual practice that will train you to prioritize bringing your awareness to the present moment. That is the most important thing everybody on the ascension path can do, is become the observer of the monkey mind. That's the only way you will ever attain spiritual mastery, is if you become the observer of the rise and fall of the egoic consciousness. You know, it's like, what you have to release yourself from the grip of identification with the monkey mind, and you have to realize that I am the parent, the higher self, the eternal, immortal aspect of my consciousness is observing that which is temporary, that which is of the third dimension. And once that really has been, you know, understood deeply and accepted, you set yourself free from the matrix. And it's only the more of us that set ourselves free from the matrix, and the matrix is the third dimensional consciousness. That is the matrix. It's the artificial matrix. It's the third dimensional consciousness. And so everybody, don't worry about the solar flash event. Don't worry about anything, but just keep finding inspiration to align your frequency with the 0 point field, and prioritize that and stabilize in that. And once you're stable in that, you're experiencing the event. I'm experiencing the event. I'm in such a place of profound clarity and alignment with source energy that there is nothing lacking within my consciousness. I'm literally experiencing the solar flash event. Bye, sweetheart, love you. And I'm certainly not waiting for it, you know. And so if you are of the consciousness where you think, oh, I'm waiting for it, come on, like, you're actually preventing it. Because the only way we're going to attract the solar flash event is when we're not waiting for it, when we're totally present, when we're in the 0 point, and we're home and we're whole, and we're not searching for anything, and there's no lack, and we're just totally in that vibration of service, of generosity, of gratitude. There's no lack. Like, if you're sitting there waiting for the solar flash, you are in a lack vibration, and you are not contributing to the vibration that is attracting the solar flash event.
Right on. Right on, man. Mic drop. that was a good one right there. You should have got that on. Get that to your DJ. Put some house music to that, man. I'm the same way, man. I get going. I went to bed last night. I haven't done a radio show in 3 months. You know, I used to do one every day or two. And I lay down. I had something happen last night with family, unexpectedly. And so I experienced that. I sent Morgan a note, said, I got to lay down. I don't know if I'll wake up. And I laid down to try to integrate and decipher, you know, non-attachment, attachment, 3D, 5D with this family member in my own mind. And then I heard, get up and do a radio show. I was like, what? I'm tired, man. But yeah, and so what you're talking about, these heightened senses, it's the heightened senses of the five senses, the hearing, the seeing, but also the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, you know, all that stuff, the clairsentient, all that stuff has been enhanced. And I'm seeing it with many, many people. And I'm also seeing when I do go down the news feed, I'm seeing fewer people projecting, more people owning their shift, and more positivity and less posted posts with negative connotation. You know, I'm seeing an energy shift, and it's undeniable.
It's undeniable, man. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. So yeah, so it's really, really important that, you know, it's so exciting. It's so exciting getting to that place of mastery within your own individual self. It's like, it's everything. It's like your deepest thirst gets quenched by your own self. You know, by doing the work, by becoming the observer, by freeing yourself from this, you know, incessant identification with the egoic consciousness. Like, just focus on that. Literally focus focus on that, liberating yourself. And then the more of us that are liberated, that can stand totally in our wildness, free of all the programming, like the more of us that can coalesce in that frequency, then we're just going to align with this solar flash event so imminently, brothers and sisters. And I'm excited. You know, there's a part of me, you know, it's like going to the prom. That's what I feel. It's not like, it doesn't have to happen, but it's like, oh yeah, man, we're going to go to the prom. Like, yeah, it's kind of exciting. And so, but we don't have to go. Like, I'm cool. I'm good now. You know, do you know what I mean, brothers and sisters? So it would be amazing for us to align with this solar flash event. So really take on this guidance and really become managers of your vibration. Like, make your most important job every single day to be a manager of your vibration. So become very discerning about what lowers your frequency and what raises your frequency. For example, watching the news, hanging out with like people that are very gossipy, hanging out with people that are always like moaning, like critical towards you. All of these things are really massive in lowering your frequency. Like, in order to attain spiritual mastery, you have to become masterful and guardian of your frequency. That is your most important commodity, your most important asset, your most important gift to the universe is your individual frequency. So focus on like activities that are going to raise your frequency, like gratitude, like going on endless rampages of gratitude, by doing random acts of kindness, by letting people go first in the traffic, by just every day just like really setting that intention to be an angelic being, you know, living in this world and showing other human beings that there are other angels living in the world. You know, there's so many ways that we can raise our frequency. For myself, one thing that I do, I bathe in natural spring water. So I find like wells and springs and I bathe in them. And my guides have showed me that spring water is like the closest molecular sort of pattern we have to liquid light. And so when we bathe in natural spring water, we are really massively cleansing our etheric field and really massively upgrading our frequency. So this is what I'm just inspiring everyone, like, make that your priority every single day, being manager of your frequency, and just cut all patterns that are lowering your frequency and attract more patterns and habits in your life that are going to raise your frequency.
Yeah. And it's the example that the energy puts out there. You know, it's not the words, it's the example. Your energy in motion like that, being that earth angelic presence, is what is contagious and what does expand to the collective. Like, I noticed that you had a couple of initiatives in the past month. One of them is where you raise money for people in need in the moment. Right. I've seen a couple of things, and that's the type of, that's the type of thing that is contagious. It's an example. It's again, something where you're putting your faith into the, what has been the non-visible, non-physical energy that we are, the magic, you know? And so again, I commend you, and the event is happening for the initiatives that you've taken. I didn't know that about the spring water. You know, I'm like right next to a mountain, and we went up there one day, and there was like these little waterfalls, and I jumped in. It was cold as hell, but I jumped in and just sat under the waterfall, and it felt like there was like lights in the water, you know, like I'm not visually, but like when they hit my skin, I felt like I was getting electric charges.
Yeah. It's a wonderful way to raise your vibration. It's a wonderful way to raise your vibration. You know, I've got loads of ideas to share, but just get excited about it. Like, everything that I share is accelerating the timeline of the solar flash. Literally, it's like the more of us that can really deeply stabilize in our own self-mastery codes and transmit them and be an absolute embodiment of them, you know, then the quicker this flash will happen. Literally.
Right. Yeah. Brenda Harding asked a question. and I'll give it to you. She says, if you're waiting for anything, are you in lack?
Yeah, definitely. I would say you're in lack. Yeah. I don't even, how can I go into greater depth with that? I mean, for me, the answer is very, very categorically, yes, you're in lack. Because my experience of being truly, truly aligned with source, the Christos source being that I am, there's no waiting, like there's no waiting, because actually within that frequency, time doesn't exist. It's only in the third dimensional realm that this concept of linear time exists. When your consciousness is fully anchored and stabilized in the 0 point, you realize that you have access via your consciousness to that future moment that you are waiting for. You have direct access to that future timeline. So
that's very true. And I can give her an example, because Morgan went back to Australia for a couple of months, 5 or 6 days ago, and so I'm not waiting. I'm not. It's weird, this unconditional love thing is unattached, just like you said about the event. You're not attached to it. You're not waiting on it. It is what it is. But I think the reason it's a graceful experience. It's not a difficult experience. It's because, and I know it sounds cliche, but I think this is part of the energy that's out there. I miss her, but she's with me. Yeah. So how can I miss her? She's with me. I feel her in every moment, and really could take that to anyone and anywhere and any place and in anything I know, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I had an experience with a family member last night. It was a lot like these shows. It was a lot like talking to you. I actually went on cam with her, and it was a multidimensional experience, and it was a lot for the human aspect to handle. I had to go lay down. So this energy is multidimensional. It's a multidimensional thing, which includes bilocation. It includes timelessness and the elimination of space.
Yeah, so Amy has said that there is a difference in excitement and waiting, and yeah, I think that's really, really true. And I think that there's such different vibrations. Like the vibration of waiting is very, very, very like, I don't have that. When is it going to happen? I want that. That's the vibration of waiting. But the vibration of excitement is like, it's coming. Oh my God, it's coming. It's like the sun's going to rise tomorrow morning. It's just guaranteed. It's like excitement that you just know, like 100% it's coming. And that is such a powerful stance to be in. Within the law of attraction and in terms of your magnetism, like is to be in that excitement of knowing that it's coming. Like it's just, and it's having that expectation. Like we know the sun's going to rise. Like of course the sun's going to rise, guaranteed to rise tomorrow morning. So so well said.
Have you now? You're a practitioner, right? You do energy work with people, right? Yeah. Have you seen an uptick, an upswing in people's experiences that you work with or that in terms of star family and even apparitions and materialization of star family?
Well, I mean, to be honest, the sessions that I do are very, 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 very emotionally deep sessions to do with trauma and childhood and stuff like that. So we don't often go, we have to go really to the core of the first trauma often in my sessions. But I've certainly noticed within my group, the event is happening. If you're not in it, please check it out. It's amazing. In my group, I've really noticed that the quality of posts has really, really shifted in the last good few weeks, with people having and it's back to how it was last March, with loads of people having dreams of the event and galactic visitations. Everything has amped up, Todd. Everything is amped up, like literally 100%, like no BS, like everything's amped up.
Yeah, some of these pictures people are putting up, and some of the, like I said, then the intel, the real-time intel, and like I said at the top of the show, people were saying it a different way, but if I look at what you came out with the other day, what Amanda Lawrence came out with just in the last 2-3 days, what Jason Estes is talking about, and a few other people, Pars Kate, Broder Badal. I mean, it's like it's all coming together. It's all converging,
Yeah.
And the language, the frequency is the same, and the language is starting to blend. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so you can see it. It's like a tsunami. You know, it's like like you said, or like they told you in the transmission, it's a solar flare party.
Yeah, they called it the solar flash party. That they just kept on in the vision when they were talking about it. They referred to it. My galactic team referred to it as the solar flash party. So that was fun. Like they were bringing this energy of lightness, like you know, it's like they were like, it's our galactic party. You're all invited. Do you know what I mean? That kind of vibe.
It does. It feels like that.
Yeah.
It feels like a coronation. It feels like a coronation or a parade. Hey, so where can when and where can we find your music? This new music, and what did you call that? What did you call that new genre again? What did you call it?
It's going to be called conscious, devotional, spiritual house music.
Cool. Very cool.
And my album's going to be out. I mean, I'll let everyone know. You know, I'll do a launch of my album and stuff like that. But I do want to let everyone know about my my next transmission that I'm going to be facilitating. It's going to be the big one. You know, this is March equinox. It's going to be on the 20th of March this year. And it's really, really the big one. And we're being called to reinstate the divine child as the spiritual core of Gaia is the divine child, and we're going to be really, really, really deeply empowering that that template of the original innocence in order to overwrite all of the trafficking grids and the paedophilia grids. Like we can only address that with a solution. We can't be dealing with dismantling that. We have to overwrite that with God's original plan. And so I'm really inviting as many brothers and sisters to come together for this equinox transmission, where we're going to be doing really, really big work with reinstating the frequency of the divine child as the most precious and the most sacred frequency that we hold in Gaia. And we're going to be really, really deeply anchoring that into the earth, overwriting all of these lower agenda timelines, getting our planet back into the state of Eden. We're also going to be working with the blue avian beings who are going to be taking us down into the inner earth. And we're going to be working with Mount Shasta and the avian beings that work predominantly around Mount Shasta. And we're going to be clearing a lot of the last residue of the patriarchal programming. So we're going to be literally working with cleaning out those last residues, particularly that have kept the feminine disempowered, particularly that set of programming, that insidious hypnotic programming that kept the collective feminine disempowered. We're going to be removing that program entirely and working with the energy of the inner earth. And we're going to be working with the blue orb that's in the inner earth, because actually the blue orb is our spiritual nourishment. And because of the frequency of Gaia, of the earth, you know, changed after it dropped in density after the time of Atlantis, our blue orb, our outer earth blue orb, sort of like is not really present and visible for us, and actually like it is our spiritual nourishment. And so we're being called to make that connection with the inner earth and the outer earth, and really, really connect with that blue orb where we all get our spiritual nourishment like from. There's going to be other aspects as well, but it's really, really so important, this work, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's I like the objective, and I like the method.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to I don't know, I'm getting feedback, but as opposed to you know, protesting, raising hell, boycotting, marching, whatever, actually going and focusing this collective effort on the energy of what's pure and real and natural and genuine and innocent, like you said. And I like the term overlay too. I like that term a lot. You know, that's I hadn't heard that before, but that really resonates. I'll tell you what else resonates that you said over the last, I don't know, day and a half for me. You know, I used to get a lot of blue avian stuff. Probably the first galactic thing I ever got was blue avian. And then it's been all this other stuff. But about 2 days ago, I started getting that. And I started getting inner earth too. And you know, in that, yeah. And I think I saw somebody yesterday. I know I did actually, talking about the blue avian part, not the inner earth part, but yeah, that's reemerged in the last couple of days. I wonder if that's a collective thing.
Yeah, it's a collective thing.
Yeah. Do you get intel from blue avian, from the blue avians?
Yeah, I do, but they don't necessarily speak in language, but I definitely do. I mean, what they've told me is that they have a specific role in terms of their frequency is actually quite connected to ours, and they're sort of just like a one sort of frequency above us in a way, and so they're very, very pure. They're source beings, like they're undistorted source beings, and so a lot of their gifts are source gifts. They're sort of like bridges that are helping us reconnect in an unadulterated way back with source energy. That is a lot of their job, and a lot of them are working with us in the dream time. They're doing a lot of work with our chakras at the moment. That's what I've been shown. So I'm in a lot of contact with them at the moment.
Yeah, that resonates. The Mount Shasta thing resonates too. Now, I think for me too, and I think you're kind of saying this, is that there's a relationship between the blue avian consciousness or whatever family and the inner earth Agarthians, right? You know, that a lot of people attribute to Shasta and to Antarctica, but that seems to be coming to the surface again as well, you know. So I think in this transition there's gonna be literal physical evidence, you know, kind of like a convergence of physical matter and non-physical, that we're actually going to see with these heightened senses, you know, the eyes, the ears, you know what I mean? I think we're actually going to start seeing some of this stuff.
Do you know what I think it is, Todd? I think that they've always been here, but I just think our frequency has just been completely and utterly oblivious to them. And I think that what's going on is that all of the work and a lot of work, like a lot of shifts in the collective consciousness are really, really able to take place now in earnest due to the work and the cohesion of the Event is Happening group. Like it is such a massive starseed forum, which is creating so much transformation and alignment that is literally feeding that cohesive program into the super consciousness field, which is then able to be accessed by all of humanity's consciousness. And I think that altogether, all of our starseeds and all of this kind of like predestined evolutionary plan, you know, it's like our vibration, our collective vibration is now truly, truly raising, so that these beings are coming online to us. I do not believe that they've just suddenly been and come. I believe that they've always been here, but we just were not able to be attuned to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they existed beyond visible light. And I want to point out to everybody, because I want to make sure they caught it, especially if they come back on the replay. You know, we're talking about the Event is Happening, which is a Facebook group that was formed a year ago yesterday, that has had exponential growth. And it's a unique group because I've seen a lot of groups over the last 7 years, and of course been originated Soulogy as a group, and other people have stepped up in that department. But it's very difficult to have an active group like the Event is Happening with the number of people that you have, 80,000, 90,000 people. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of work to keep people engaged. But I jump into that group, you know, probably every 2-3 days and pick this up or pick that up. And there's always a dialogue going. There's always something happening. And it's a testament to that collective energy. And the last thing I'll say too, whether it be a Soulogy, would be the Event is Happening, whether it be somebody taking a personal initiative in a semi-private or private basis in their community, or whatever that situation is, when you're putting forth that type of energetic impression out into the holy grid that we all share, you are pulling in our star family and our ancestors, they align with us, they become visible, they support us, they expand us. And I know that Morgan and I are not the only ones that have received that message and had those experiences, because I'm seeing it in you. I'm seeing it in the Event Is Happening group, people in there talking about it, and other parts of Facebook and social media. So never underestimate the power of one unique and equal soul, especially where two or more come together.
Absolutely. No, it really, really is. It's having a huge effect. And because, you know, I've always, since the day one of creating that group, I've always had like ridiculously strict boundaries of conduct, of what is acceptable and unacceptable in the group. But I really believe that it is those strict boundaries that is a tribute to its exponential success, because we've created a culture of safety and deep, profound respect and kindness. Yeah. And it's consistent. Like, there's no, like, we don't have bad days. We don't have bad days in the Event Is Happening. We like consistently are pumping out a fifth dimensional cohesive frequency. And what happens is, when you are consistently pumping out that frequency, it attracts so much attention from the galactics, because it's matching their frequency. We're matching their frequency, which is pure love, which is pure unconditional love, unconditional kindness, service. We are all in service to each other, service to humanity, service to the whole ascension of the universe. You know, and so this is the galactic's vibration. So we're matching and mirroring the galactic's vibration. So of course they're going to be attracted to us like bees, like moths to the flame, and they are. And that's why. So I believe that's partly why so many people have so much go through so much transformation, spiritual transformation, from being in the group. And it's almost like the group has got like an oversoul, like a higher self. And if you are pure, and if you are kind, and you can stay in alignment with that stream, with that current of energy, you will then attract so much like massive support on your evolutionary trajectory. But if, for example, you choose to be focused on negativity and gossip and lower frequency and belittling vibrations, you literally step out of that stream. Your frequency comes out of that stream, and you're back in 3D land, and you're stuck on the hamster wheel, going round and round and round and round and round without any break, and it's just exhausting. So, but it's a choice. You have a choice. But we don't tolerate any rudeness, any belittling, because some people, you know, they can't believe that we have a group like this with such high standards, and they think that they're going to try and get away with it, but that they last about 5 seconds in the group and they're blocked.
Yeah. It's a chore, man. But you know, and really, the Event Is Happening, Soulogy, other groups, you know, known and not. This is the epitome of that golden child. That golden child that you're talking about being brought into the core, back into the core of Gaia, is basically creation. It's the expression of pure love, and it takes on its own consciousness, and it speaks, you know. In so many words, it speaks, and it has an engaging consciousness. It's an energetic. It's a force, in and of itself, you know, and it's supported by this universal pure love energy that's expanding on this planet. The other thing I love about what you're saying too, the way you describe it, you know, when people connect, such as yourself, whoever, sometimes they'll talk about how, you know, the higher ups are up here and they're here, and you have to raise your vibration up, and they have to come down a little bit to match. And that's what you're describing. That's the power of what you're describing, because there's 80, 90,000 people in this group raising the vibration that's allowing for the star family, the galactic support, angelic, whatever, to connect and actually expand and really help us in this transition to experience it with more ease and grace, you know?
Absolutely. And I'm not always the most popular person in the world, because I do have these strict boundaries, but I don't care. I don't care for humans' opinions. I'm just here for God. I'm working for God, and I take my directions and my intel from God. And if it's going to piss off the odd human here or there, so be it. I'm cool with that, you know. But obviously this guidance is profoundly working. Otherwise we would not have attracted nearly 84,000 people in a year.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And it's funny too, It's funny too, because with Soulogy, you know, I always heard from the beginning, it just shows you polarities, right? That, you know, 99.9% of the stuff that's put through 150, 200 posts a day, go through. And I've always been told, don't restrict it. And that's been a trip. That's been a trip, because at times I've had to, you know, the groups had to deal with, you know, little outbursts. And I'm the same as you. I feel like Soulogy is not a social circle. It's an energy. It's what you're describing about the event is happening. It's a platform where you're safe, you know, where you're going to be respected and loved and honored, and what you're putting out is being mirrored. And the great thing about that is it creates that exponential expansion. You guys, to have 84,000 in a year and a day is phenomenal. That's absolutely phenomenal, you know. So yeah, congratulations to that. I don't know if you got anything on the way out the door. If you want to sing us a song, do a chant, light language, house music, a dance.
I don't know.
You know me, I'm good at putting you on the spot.
I could play my flute. I haven't played that for a while.
Yeah, right on. In for a little treat here. That's it, man. That's it right there. That's what we've been talking about for the last hour, and we don't need any words with it. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence again. Thank you for the work you're doing, and congratulations to the group. And all blessings to you and your little kids and everybody else in your life.
Thank you, Brother Todd, and thank you for showing up as the Divine Masculine, inspiring, trailblazing, leading the way, gathering all these beautiful souls to come and share their wisdom. We love you and we appreciate you, Todd. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. I'll see you till the next time. All right. Hey, March 20th. Don't forget, March 20th.
Yeah, March 20th, 11:11 a.m. Pacific time. The Equinox transmissions. Hopefully, as many of you will be there as possible, so we can reinstate this original innocence back into the core.
Right on. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it, guys.
You take